it's Michelle, and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. We have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. Well, happy belated 35th birthday to Princess Beatrice. Beatrice was born on August 8th, 1988, and she was named Beatrice Elizabeth Mary York. She is the eldest child of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. Now, according to a story, her name was reportedly going to be Annabelle, but the late Queen Elizabeth stepped in and suggested a more traditional name. She actually thought the name Annabelle was too yuppie. So instead, they named her after Queen Victoria's youngest child, and among her family, she is known as BB. Now, at the age of 2, she became a big sister when her younger sister, Princess Eugenie, was born in March of 1990. Now, you can tell the two sisters are very, very close. They're always with each other, giving each other shout-outs, very, very supportive of each other throughout the years. Now, I have to say, Princess Beatrice has definitely grown into her own, and I really do like her and her husband, Eduardo. I hope one day they will become working royals. But happy belated 35th to Princess Beatrice. So William and Kate will lead the nation's tribute on the anniversary of the Queen's death. They are to deliver a public message honoring the life and legacy of the late monarch who died on September 8, 2022. Now, William and Kate will use this occasion to look forward, a royal source has said. But the King and Queen will mark the anniversary quietly and privately at Balmoral, Scotland, where the Queen had died. You can only imagine how difficult this day has to be for King Charles. Now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle plan on honoring the first anniversary of Queen Elizabeth's death in their, quote, their own way after not making the invitation list for the royal family's forthcoming Balmoral Castle gathering. A source had said they will of course acknowledge and pay their respects to Her Majesty in their own way, while confirming that the couple haven't received any information or an invitation to plans marking the anniversary of her death. Now, the insider did note that this memorial at the Scottish estate is not a formal royal event. He said, quote, I know the palace has said nothing official is happening. The source shares, adding that honoring the late Queen is very personal. Now, the interesting thing is that Harry and Meghan will be in Dusseldorf, Germany, the day after the memorial. So they could have made the event if they were invited. I suspect they were not. And let's be honest here, this is going to be such an emotionally charged day for the royal family. The last thing they want is Harry and Meghan sitting there due to the fact they disrespected the late Queen. They caused this woman so much pain and misery during the last 3 years of her life. The last thing anyone wants is for these two royal grifters to show up on this very special day. But what do you think? Do you think Harry and Meghan are going to hijack this special day and make it about themselves? I suspect they're going to make a huge display of love and affection for Her Majesty and put a big statement on their Artwell Foundation website. They better not, is all I gotta say. You better not disrespect the Queen on this day. Well, more news has come out in regards to Harry and Meghan and the best-selling romantic novel Meet Me at the Lake. Apparently, it was the Netflix executives who paid upwards of $3 million for the film rights and not Harry and Meghan. Now, in my opinion, I believe it was a smart business move by Netflix because they own the rights to the film. They are literally handing this over to Harry and Meghan on a silver platter. Much like Spotify, who did a lot of heavy lifting, we're talking heavy lifting to make Meghan Markle a success, and the woman still bombed. She even had the audacity to turn around and blame Spotify for her being a failure, saying there was too much red tape. Too much red tape. It took you 3 years to produce 12 episodes. I really doubt it was the red tape that was the issue. Spotify had a team of 28 people. They hired a third-party production team. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing, even fudged some of those numbers, paid for huge billboards in New York City, and you still failed. You cannot blame Spotify. They literally threw everything but the kitchen sink at you, sis. Look in the mirror, sweetheart. That is why you failed. So now Netflix is probably freaking out because their one-trick ponies, Harry and Meghan, are not producing anything worthwhile for their $80 million deal with Netflix. So Harry and Meghan have only produced one thing in 3 years for Netflix, which was their mockumentary where they sat there and dissed the royal family. Live to Lead tanked. Pearl never got taken off the ground. Supposedly, Heart of Invictus is dropping in September, which that is going to be very interesting to see what the heck that's about. But I personally believe it's not going to do very well. So they are trying everything they can to make these two not be a one-trick pony. But giddy up, y'all, because that is all they are. Now, this whole deal with this book is very suspicious. The more that I've learned about it, I'm like, something doesn't seem right here. First of all, the lady, Carly Fortune, this book, y'all, is literally Harry and Meghan. There's too many similarities for it to be a coinky-dink that it wasn't inspired by Harry and Meghan's love story. And we all know that Harry and Meghan love a love story and their rom-coms. That's right up their alley because Meghan Markle believes they are the greatest love story of all time. The salt, the pepper, and the peanut butter, and the jelly. She wanted that mockumentary to be about their love story. However, Liz Garbus apparently realized there's nothing to see here, folks. You can't even get your meet cute story correct. What the hell were you going to tell people about this love story? That a girl wanted to meet a rich guy from the UK and she seduced him into marrying her? Is that the love story that we were going to see? Or the Charles Manson love-bombing stares that Meghan Markle does to Prince Harry? Or how she channels his dead mom and tells him, about his mother? Is that the love story that she wanted to sell? Because quite frankly, I think Liz Garbus did y'all a favor. Nobody wanted to see that. So the only thing that they could do was trash the royal family. Period. Because they were one-trick pony, like I said. Okay? So now you have Netflix looking over at Spotify, seeing the mistakes that were made over there and how they're in the red. So Netflix is taking it, the balls by the horn or the horn by the balls. I don't know what the term is, but they're taking control and they're like, look, we're literally going to hand you a book that is literally your life story by a super fan. We're going to hand it to you, but we're going to own the rights. So if you F it up, we're going to take it away and give it to a real company. So in my opinion, Netflix is doing heavy lifting, trying to lift up these Sussexes to be a success so they don't have egg on their face like Spotify. I have never seen two people get so much help from so many resources, have so many opportunities, so many platforms, and still F it up. They couldn't make it as royals, and they had the world's greatest platform to do all their charitable work that they supposedly want to do. Then they go to Hollywood. They were the belles of the ball, and they've ruined it. I don't know anybody who's done that twice. That's literally a talent these two have. So in my opinion, the whole thing is a little suspicious. The book is 50% their story or inspired by them, by a superfan, by a sugar. Her book was published by Penguin Random House. Ding, 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 ding. Suspicious. And then Netflix buys the rights and hands it to Harry and Meghan, two grifters who have really no work ethic and no experience. Again, the heavy lifting Y'all, the heavy lifting. If they don't make something out of this, they only have themselves to blame. And Netflix, in my opinion, is smart. They are protecting themselves and they are forcing these Sussexes to do something. So that way, when their contract goes belly up in 2025, you can't blame Netflix. You can only blame yourself. So what do you guys think? Do you think they were all in cahoots to make this novel about Harry and Meghan and turn it into a movie? It sounds eerily suspicious how they're all connected to Harry and Meghan. Let me know your comments down below. So Hollywood Harry has arrived in Japan to much fanfare, and you can tell Prince Harry was eating it up. This is a man who loves the limelight, who loves attention, just as long as it's positive attention. And he was really happy to have all of the attention to himself and not have Meghan Markle and her claw ripping at him and tearing the attention away from himself. He was truly a man in his element. You have to remember, Prince Harry was the golden child, the prodigal son, and the much beloved member of the royal family. He was one of the most popular royals. Being the much beloved son of Princess Diana, he grew up in a life of privilege, pampering, and people pandering to him for attention. Then he married Meghan Markle and went to hell in a handbasket with that woman and her narcissistic tendencies, stealing it all for herself. Now, Prince Harry definitely looked happy and more confident than we've ever seen him in the past couple of months. He was sporting an Artwell Foundation baseball cap in one of his little black polo t-shirts. Apparently that's his uniform. But there was a little bit of anxiety that a royal expert picked up on, a body language expert. Noticed he had a little bit of a flip-flop of emotions where he was happy and then anxious, and then he was happy and then anxious, much like his mother, who did have a flip-flop of emotions. Now, in my opinion, the reason why is because Prince Harry has lost a lot of confidence in himself, and that is due to his wife and a lot of the negativity that has been around him since Megxit. He went from being the beloved royal to being shamed, to being very, very disliked. His popularity has plummeted not only in the UK, but also in America. So I do find it very interesting to see how people are reacting to him in Japan. But so far, he has received a very positive welcome. Prince Harry is in Tokyo for the ISPS Sports Values Summit Special Edition, and next Saturday he will travel to Singapore for fundraising for Centiball Polo Cup. Now, Prince Harry told the audience in Japan, quote, "I'll happily live here if you'd have me," during a summit on sport, community, and philanthropy. The Duke of Sussex smiled and laughed and gleefully waved to the crowd as he praised the warmth, compassion, and generosity of the special Japanese culture. Talk about reading the room and kissing up to the crowd. You have to give him credit there. Now, the beaming 38-year-old told the crowd, quote, "I've been involved in many charities for most of my life, and I get a huge amount of fulfillment giving back to as many people as possible. My life is charity, always has been, always will be." I don't know if Meghan Markle agrees with you, son. I think her life purpose is making moolah by trashing your family. That's just me. Harry went on to say he enjoyed the most incredible Kobe steak, both for dinner last night and lunch. Your warmth, your compassion, your generosity, every single element of the Japanese culture is really unique and very, very special. I've noticed it my first visit 4 years ago when I came to the Rugby World Cup, and I would happily live here if you'd have me. Thank you for your hospitality. I have really enjoyed being here in Japan again, and I'm looking forward to my next visit. Now, during this summit where he sat there on a panel having panel discussions, he was joined on the stage by his Argentinian polo friend Nacho, who will also be joining him in Singapore for a polo match. Now, it seemed to me that Harry was in good spirits. He was in his element. He is definitely getting back to his roots, all the stuff he loved to do before Meghan. But it's very interesting how Harry believes he's a man of purpose. He is a man of charity. But everything that he and Meghan represent and do are complete opposites. Prince Harry is a man who wanted to live a quiet life in places like Africa and do charity. Meghan Markle wants to live in Hollywood and be a Hollywood A-lister, a global icon. Two different paths. Two different goals. I think ultimately that is going to be the downfall of their marriage because they are not on the same path. Neil Sean most recently did a video where Harry admitted he's not happy. He does not want to be a Hollywood A-lister. He wanted to do charity. He believes at his heart he is still a charitable person, and that is his life's mission. Because as a royal, that is literally embedded into their DNA, a life of service. But Meghan Markle does not have 1 ounce of charitable DNA in her body. She is literally the embodiment of self-service. So you have the royal family who serve others, have a life of service. And then you have Meghan Markle, the showgirl, the wannabe A-lister, the global icon wannabe who wants to be a superstar, who wants to be rich, who wants to be relevant in Hollywood, who wants to hang out with Oprah and Beyonce and Ellen DeGeneres and win Oscars and get accolades for doing fluff Hollywood work. Then you have Prince Harry, who wants to do charity. These two do not mesh. It's like oil and water. They send out conflicting messages and they look like hypocrites. So I believe Harry is struggling trying to keep Meghan Markle happy. But he's going to have a very hard time because clearly when he left for Megxit, he thought they were going to be on the worldwide privacy tour, living in Africa, living in Canada, living quietly, doing the Lord's work, doing charity. But Meghan Markle had no plans ever to do that. Even Artwell Foundation, what exactly do they do? What charitable acts have they actually done besides lip service, putting a link on their website and taking credit for other people's work? They don't do charity. They pretend. They give a lot of lip service, word salad, and they get a lot of tax breaks. But the Artwell Foundation is a sham of a charity, in my opinion. They're more about Artwell Audio and Artwell Productions, where they're getting paid money to make Hollywood movies and books and whatever the hell else they're trying to do. But none of it's about charity. It's about lining their pockets and keeping Meghan Markle happy and in the lifestyle she's accustomed to. So it's interesting to see Prince Harry happy out there doing what he loves, polo, sports, charity, away from Meghan Markle, away from her influence, away from her pushing him out of the way. He gets to be the top dog. He gets to be the old Harry that people love and adore for 5 minutes before Meghan comes out with her claw. So you can see he really is enjoying himself. He's living in the past. Pre-Meghan, when he was the beloved Prince Harry, son of Princess Diana. I do like the fact that Prince Harry gets to be a little bit of him old self for 5 minutes. But at the end of the day, it's still hard for me to get behind him because he's done so much damage with the Viper of Montecito. So what do you guys think of this Hollywood press tour that Prince Harry is doing in Japan? Well, that is all the royal news that I have for you guys. What do you think? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.